New tonight, two people charged in the death of Matthew Perry just pleaded not guilty. One of them, a doctor, Salvador Plasencia, surrendered his license to prescribe controlled substances. Prosecutors say Dr. P, as he was known, injected Perry with ketamine in a public parking lot. The other not guilty plea tonight from the woman, officials say, was the supplier known as the Ketamine Queen. In the court documents, prosecutors describe how Jasmine Sanga ran a drug ring, speaking in code with the other defendants, referring to bottles of ketamine as Dr. Pepper. Perry's own live-in assistant is also charged. Prosecutors say he injected Perry 27 times in just the 5 days before his death. 3 of those doses given the day Perry died. Known and beloved by millions as the quick-witted, sarcastic New Yorker Chandler Bing on Friends, Perry shared his decades-long battle with drug addiction in his 2022 memoir, becoming addicted to ketamine after seeking treatment for depression and anxiety. And last October, he was found floating face down in a jacuzzi at his Pacific Palisades home, dead as a result of acute effects of ketamine and subsequent drowning, according to the autopsy report. I want to go straight to the source now with the prosecutor of this case, U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada. Thanks for joining us. So first off, how did your team connect the dots here to figure out how Matthew Perry was getting the ketamine?
Well, thank you for having me. What happened is in October of last year, following Mr. Perry's death, we did an investigation. It was in-depth, it was broad, and we found this larger network that was distributing ketamine to Mr. Perry, as well as to others.
So how widespread was this operation?
It was very widespread. We collaborated with our partners, the Los Angeles Police Department, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, to make sure we pulled every thread in this case. What we found was 2 licensed physicians who were supplying ketamine illegally to Mr. Perry. We found brokers, we found his live-in assistant helping with this, and we found this major source of supply whose customers referred to her as the Ketamine Queen.
So how many customers are we talking about here beyond just Matthew Perry?
We believe there were numerous customers. When we searched the residence of the Ketamine Queen, we found 80 vials of ketamine, thousands of pills of methamphetamine, cocaine, bottle of Xanax, you name it. So certainly there were other customers, but we know at least of one other death related to this person, a man named Cody McLaury, who died in 2019. We were able to charge a count in this case related to Mr. McLaury's death.
So you mentioned the Ketamine Queen, Jasmine Sanga, who was key in this operation, according to you. How does someone get that title, and what was her responsibility in all of this?
Well, I think in terms of the title, that was what her customers gave her, and it's not surprising given the prolific supplying of ketamine she was involved with. Just to get an idea, over a 2-week period in October of last year, she was able to supply Mr. Perry and his assistant with 50 vials of ketamine for about $11,000. That's a lot of ketamine that she was able to supply in a short amount of time. That ketamine was unlabeled. We were still investigating as to how she obtained that ketamine, but we search her home and we find even more ketamine available for distribution.
And you say at one point, Dr. P, in quotes, injected Perry with ketamine while in a public parking lot in Long Beach. What lengths did the people charged here go through to make sure he got the drugs and then they got paid?
So this was one of the 2 doctors. He's a lead defendant, Dr. Salvador Plasencia. He supplied Mr. Perry with ketamine over 2 months from September to October 2023. He supplied 20 vials of ketamine. He went the extra distance to actually inject Mr. Perry with ketamine. On one occasion, he saw Mr. Perry freeze up and he saw his blood pressure spike, yet he continued to supply ketamine to Mr. Perry, which obviously is very concerning for anyone, much less a licensed physician.
And your office uncovered text messages from before Perry died, including from Dr. P asking another doctor, quote, "I wonder how much this moron will pay." What does that say to you?
It says to me that these defendants operated based on greed. They wanted to take advantage of another person's addiction to profit off of that person. And they didn't care the consequences. They didn't care about the fact that they were risking Mr. Perry's life.
Many of these individuals learned of Perry's death from the news. Talk us through what your office claims was a frantic effort to try and cover this all up.
So once Mr. Perry died, the news reported on that. What we saw is that same day, the ketamine queen, Jasveen Sanya, sent messages to delete all texts to the broker who was assisting her. In addition, we found that the doctor, Dr. Placentia, had actually begun falsifying medical records, medical notes, to make it appear that he was doing something legitimate. It was clear from the evidence he was not.
All right, U.S. Attorney Martina Estrada, thank you.
Thank you. Take care.